Hey guys, so it's bringing you another video. Now welcome to a new mini-series of the Champions Climb featuring Fiddlesticks. So we're doing jungle now. So we've done, I think we started with top, then we did mid, and now we're in the jungle. And we're going to do 2 Champions Climbs back to back in the jungle, because it's the role that I now personally am probably going to put a lot of time into investing in. I played jungle yesterday in my recording session, and I just felt like I had so much more pressure on the game. And I will say, Riot have already announced there is jungle nerfs coming. They've said there's too much power in the jungle, and they're going to be nerfing the XP of junglers, which I think is fine. I still think jungle is going to be the power role of SOLOQ, because again, it's the role that can affect all 3 roles, or lanes rather. It's the one that usually gets all the objectives that are very powerful. So jungling to me is still the thing to do. But we're watching Fiddlesticks. Now Fiddlesticks is actually one of the best junglers in the game right now. Again, I would say ability power in the game is both strong and weak. A lot of the ability power items aren't amazing, but a lot of magic resist items suck. Like, it's terrible magic resist items. The best magic resist item is basically a Banshees, but when it comes to like an AD carry buying MR, there's very few good options. So having an AP jungler is sometimes a really cool thing. And also, just to mention, we are truly watching an Iron game here. This, I think, is the first time that we're actually starting in Iron. I think most of the series that we've done so far, we're starting in Bronze. And just to make the point clear, this is an educational series. You know, I'm sure we'll probably see things in this game that are very questionable. You know, you can just kind of point out a couple of things. There's a Senna support with TP, Warwick's running Ignite, Malphite top lane's running Ignite. So there's already a couple questionable things here. But we're going to just focus in on the educational aspect of this in Iron, see what we can point out, if anything, that this Fiddle or Cobsy can improve on. And I will say, if you're a Fiddlesticks main and you're an audience member of mine, please do get in contact, whether it be in the comment section to leave your details, like summon a name, etc., or tweet me or something, DM me on Twitter, and you could get featured in this series. But obviously, yes, you have to be an active ranked player, it has to be a ranked match, and you have to be a Fiddlesticks main. But the player that we're watching right now, just to kind of say, is currently in Iron 1, has got a good win rate on Fiddlesticks, so a 70% win rate within 44 games. So that's fantastic. KD, though, and this is where it probably may see, this game we'll see, KD, he gets on average 4.5 kills a game, so it's a bit low, but then 5.6 deaths per game. So it's dying more than they get kills. So that's one thing that we're going to have to kind of see if we can notice. Obviously, starting item on Fiddle has gone for that, the standard really, has the smite item. And then I think, did they go... Yes, they went for a control ward. Also 1 health potion. Probably doesn't need the health potion. Furthermore, running Predator. So I did look up before we started playing what is like the standard Fiddlesticks thing to do right now. Dark Harvest apparently is like the most popular, and then it's Predator. But the win rate of Predator is actually better than Dark Harvest. Furthermore, the win rate... Oh, well done this Fiddle. The win rate of Electrocute is actually the highest out of any of the 3. So the Fiddlesticks is actually doing AoE clearing. Now this is great to see. We're in an Iron game, and what you're seeing is efficiency. So a Fiddlesticks can do what we're just watching. He's probably going to go leash the Gromp, actually. He might do it all in one. So this is actually really good. For an Iron Fiddle player, he does reset it, so there's a small mistake. But obviously, every single player, when, you know, this guy is a main Fiddlesticks guy, even in Iron, etc., he knows what to do. Like, he's got his tactic that he runs. He might be buying off a little bit more that he can chew, but he's going to go for it. He has obviously smited. He used his potion, and now he should be okay. But that's honestly pretty good. So, you know, again, whenever you're playing solo queue and you're dedicating yourself to a champ, or even just playing a champion, every champion has these little things that you can actually maximize. And one of the things Fiddlesticks can maximize is that AoE clearing. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I did not expect that Fiddlesticks to do that at all in an Iron game. But worth noting, this guy... he was Bronze 4 last season, and that was his first ever ranked season from what I can see, and he peaked at Bronze 4. So he's a Bronze 4 Iron 1 type of player, currently in Iron 1. And yeah, very good Fiddlesticks win rate, so we'll see how it goes. Has, again, Warwick against them, who just ganked in mid lane, used Ignite, by the way, on the Annie already, but she didn't really take any damage. So I guess Warwick may have just run up and used Ignite, and that was about it. But yeah, going to go for a full clear. Obviously, the power of Fiddlesticks, a lot of it anyway, is his ultimate. Is what I would consider an ultimate champion. Incredible powerful ultimate when used effectively. And obviously, Fiddlesticks did receive that rework a little while ago. And it was very reminiscent of the old Fiddlesticks. Like, there's very few differences. Like, it's the same champion, but literally just updated. And I think that's obviously what a lot of people want with reworks nowadays. And that's also what Riot has promised. Fiddlesticks going a little bit too close to Fizz. Honestly, that Fizz could have gone for that, I think. If Flash Q with Ignite would have been very close. Weird use of the Scrying Orb. Maybe he just thought there could be vision there. He's going to walk a bit of confidence, which is, you know, I'd say risky. The Fizz, as you can see, is coming over. Fizz thought that was the correct fiddle, and there we go. So, again, knowledge obviously is a big thing. His team actually is helping. Oh, this is good to see. So, hey, I'm Fiddlesticks. I want to do this. Fizz keeps coming to stop me. Fizz is still something. What are you doing, Fizz? It's 4v1 right now. He flashes away. And that's what from the Fizz, I would say, a little bit too much desperation of, I want to kill the Fiddlesticks. I'm going to stop him doing that. It was a bit too crazy. Fiddlesticks now going to go for an invade, or he's just going to use Scrying Orb. He's going to use the Scrying Orb to see if there's bot lane vision, which he now can see. He may go over there just to clear it. And yeah, I doubt there's a gank on, if I'm completely honest. Unless the enemy team just haven't noticed him here, which they should have. And he will probably just go continue to farm. So far, nothing terrible. So far, so good overall. But yeah, Fiddlesticks is what I would call, like, he's not a very mechanical champion. He's more mechanical than he used to be prior to the rework, because obviously his E now is a skill shot, where before it used to be a point and click, so you could kind of call that a little bit more higher skill cap. But other than that, Fiddle's Fiddle. Like, of all the reworks that have been in the last couple of years, I would say, I mean, is Warwick doing Dragon? He's doing Dragon. That's ballsy. No Flash Warwick. Randomly doing a Dragon at level 4. And also, the enemy team have vision here, by the way. So again, that's where you could sometimes say Taric is also tanking the Dragon. Warwick ignites. That is where we would say, like, the lower aspect rating, Fiddle flashes, of being in this Iron type game is, like, that stuff logically, that just obviously doesn't really make much sense. Fiddlesticks is trying to hunt the Warwick. He's already used Flash, by the way, and that won't be on. So maybe some counter jungling, but again, Fizz is in the area. He's low, so maybe Fiddle could actually take that. But I think he should overall maybe now just disengage. You don't commit too much time in wasting. Again, when we're watching high rating junglers, a lot of the time, they're not just chilling, you know? They're not just walking around not really achieving anything. Like, this Fiddle right now has, what, for the past, I want to say now, minute? Hasn't done any more camps, hasn't gained any more XP. And for what is, I would say, an ultimate champion, you know, he's now the same level as the bot lane, even Kaiser's ahead of him in levels. This is too much time wasting. Like, again, he's still not farming. He's still not making gold, XP. It's too much. So that's one thing we can point out straight away. That probably the higher rating we get into watching Fiddlesticks players, so the next episode may be gold, then it'll be diamond, then it'll be challenger. The higher rating we go, we'll see a lot less time wasting of not getting gold, not getting XP, especially pre-6. So they are going to get the dragon. Interesting smite. Again, still smite to kill dragons no matter what, just in case, you never know. But that's one thing we'll point out. Pre-6 Fiddle is wanting to get that ultimate. It's such a big deal for him. So having a proper, like, minute of not getting gold or XP, I think that's just a bit too much. So that's one thing this guy could already improve on, most definitely. But he's going to continue farming now, which is good. Getting that level 5, obviously getting the first dragon, which is nice. Warwick looking for a top lane gank. Malphite engaging, has that ignite. Again, a little bit weird that a Malphite has ignite, you know. And they won't probably kill, or they will get the Garen, so there's first blood up in top lane. That's good. But yeah, a bit weird that Malphite has ignite. Again, I would probably, because we're in Iron, expect AP Malphite, which is happening. AP Malphite is a lot weaker than Tank Malphite, right? Especially right now. Like, it's generally always been a bit weaker. But Tank Malphite is so ridiculously good right now. There is no reason not to do it. But this guy is running AP. So Fiddle's continuing the farm. You know, you can see the farm difference again is building in the jungle. It's once again, both junglers are now kind of, you know, doing this, that they're not farming. They're just kind of chilling around way too much. This is a bit weird. So Fizz is just ulting. He's going to go for the all-in. Tibbers, though, on top of him with the stun. Fiddle probably could have done a little bit of damage. After the initial Fizz burst was actually done, his damage runs off. So there could have been maybe a bit more damage return. But they're over-chasing. I don't think they're going to get this kill. They should probably just back off. But they, you know, again, the lower rating you go, it's just very much like, I want to get kills. Again, this is all time that, you know, they might get him, which is kind of crazy if they do. They're not in the end. But this is all time. They're not getting more gold income. They're not farming. They're not getting XP. From a kill, let's be honest, that wasn't really going to happen. Especially on a Fizz. Meanwhile, Lucian dies in bot lane, and Fiddle should go back to farm. Again, his red has been up for, like, nearly 2 minutes. Or maybe has. The blue. All this stuff is respawning. And when... Again, he's an ultimate champion. You want to get the ultimate ASAP. So that's just clearly the biggest thing that we can say right now, that what this Fiddle needs to improve on is prioritizing the right thing at the right time. And in the early game for Fiddlesticks, that is getting to level 6. And also for a jungler, just to say as a jungling standpoint, when you're leaving your camps just open, so like the wolves have been up for like the last 2 to 3 minutes, at least, maybe even more, that's XP that you're denying yourself in the future. The quicker you kill the wolf, the quicker it respawns, the quicker you get more XP. So make sure you are clearing your camps pretty much ASAP. The standard thing in jungle is clear your camps, look for a gank. Then after the gank, go clear the camps, look for another gank. That's kind of the standard way to jungle. And yes, obviously there's exceptions to that. You don't have to do it that like cookie cutter. You don't have to do that 100%. But in basic terms, that is what you want to be doing. So he's going to be doing some... Again, his red has been stolen, by the way, by the Warwick, it looks like. Because, again, the red was left up for, like, over 3 minutes, maybe even 4 minutes. Fiddlesticks might look for an ult. Never mind. But he might look for this Warwick. Warwick, again, pretty easy target for this guy to kill, potentially. Fizz is still in the area. You know, top lane, I will say, and bot, farming really well. The mid lane seems a little bit of the weak side in this game. Fiddle, though, coming for his first ultimate of the game, gets a double ultimate. Is going to continue going for the center, and Taric unfortunately picks up the kill, but there will be that. But yeah, farm in top lane, Garen on 70, you know, is pretty good. I would say he relatively has what I would call a free lane versus a Malphite. And then obviously, yeah, mid lane as well. Fizz looks like he's going to die. Auto Annie does get the auto. Not enough, unfortunately. But anyway, fight between the Fiddle and the Warwick. If Fiddle stays near the blue, he can win this potentially because of the lifesteal with the center ultimate. Never mind. So he just goes down. Maybe he could have done okay there, but does go down in the end. He did have flash available if he wanted to. And he's found the Warwick, has Tibbers available. If she can get the stun any second with the Tibbers in rage, she might be able to get the kill, but she might have flashed a little bit too far away from the Warwick. And now a Kai'Sa and the Annie is overstayed, so there is a dead Annie. Tibbers in rage doesn't do enough, and there we go. So again, the quality of the game, again, naturally is going to be quite low. It does, as I said earlier, the mid lane seems a little bit on the weaker side. Both teams, you know, being on 40-30 farm at this stage of the game is very low. But, yeah, the game itself, you know, it's okay. The quality, it's good to watch, you know, because, again, some of you will be watching my videos. One thing is good to point out. Some of you will be watching my videos for years, and you'll see your, you know, diamond level games. You're like, oh, this is, you know, okay level. But because we don't really watch iron games, or you may not watch your own games, it's sometimes very easy. I don't know what he's doing right now. Maybe going to be looking for an ultimate soon. But sometimes it's probably quite easy to kind of look at diamond games and not really see the difference between iron and diamond. So watching this type of game, I think a lot of you kind of go, oh yeah, this game is quite on the low quality. Which, you know, it is, but it's not a complete disaster. Again, Warwick going for an ultimate. Again, kill him. He has no mobility. So again, the re-engage for the Fiddle, which was good. Fiddle going to go all in for the Fizz. He does flash, obviously, after him. Taric with the stun does miss, unfortunately, and they should fall back to go to the Dragon. So that play out, by the way, started. Annie teleported bot lane. And they will now get the Dragon. So the one thing that I think this Warwick, by the way, has in his mind is that he probably has it that Dragons are very important, which is good. They are. but he's doing them at really random times, that he's doing them with no vision set up. Like, he doesn't know where the enemy is, or he does, there's 4 people bot lane, he still tries to start the dragon. So he's got the idea, well, I need to do dragons, but he needs to kind of think about when to do them, not just like, I'm going to just do this randomly. But he's rushed Bork has the Warwick, by the way, which I don't think is bad. Bork is quite a strong item. Garen, I think, what would that be? Stridebreaker maybe for Garen. Arguably, what I would say against him in top lane, if I was this Garen against an AP Malphite, I probably would just rush Merc Treads. That would probably give you the mobility, give you a bit of MR in the early game that you need just to kind of fight the Malphite a bit more. Because obviously Malphite, pretty annoying, steals Steve's movement speed. So when he presses Q, he slows you, but he also speeds himself up. He's going for an all-in, does the Malphite. Don't think, honestly, Garen needed a flash there, and he will survive. And Fiddle may look top lane, possibly. Again, Malphite. Garen doesn't need to go back right now. Again, he has no mana. He has a regen passive, but he has found a Warwick doing, again, another objective with arguably not much vision set up. So that might have scared Warwick enough to not make him do it. I think he's actually still doing it here, by the way, and it's reset because it was too far away. Blue buff is spawning soon, so that's why Fiddlesticks is lurking in this area. Build-wise, by the way, he's rushed tier 2 boots, so again, has that Predator. And he get engaged. Tibbers going out. Both ults miss. Warwick missed his ult. Fizz missed his ult as well. So the Annie will survive. Is going to look for some damage return, which is good. Hopefully she doesn't sacrifice her Tibbers, though, and she does. So again, I wouldn't sacrifice her Tibbers as an Annie. Having Tibbers just available is quite a big threat. Weird Ignite, arguably, but the Annie will survive. Warwick might go all in. Fiddlesticks ultimate with the 1 kill on the Warwick, and he will go down. So again, just the decision-making in this game, you can see, is quite not here yet. Fiddle is deciding to push the lane in, because Annie's going back. Not the worst thing to do, I guess, and he's going to maybe look to invade, or maybe do Rift Herald. Or he's looking to put a passive vision, arguably, maybe. Was looking if red was up. It's not. He's going to return to top lane, or go to top lane, where, again, Garen has got his stealth, the Stridebreaker. So Garen should look to fight this. He is a level down, but I think it should be okay. Fiddle is now looking to counter jungle. Maybe then a top lane gank? Possibly? I don't know. So Gale Force complete by Kai'Sa. Garen's spinning like a Beyblade. And maybe now a gank is in. Here we go. Is one in? No. Well, maybe. He's waiting in a bush. Again, there's a Scuttle Crab that spawned in river, so you may want to go get that. But anyway, the gank is coming. The silence into the E and a free kill on Malphite. He flashes, he shouldn't have. Sometimes, again, accept the death. Save your summoner spell. Warwick standing in the bush. Because, again, you've now used flash. You were dead anyway. And now you're prone to getting killed the next gank as well. This is good by Fiddle. He's going to go for a Rift Herald. Again, should get this. Probably isn't that hard. Warwick looking for a mid gank. He does land his ultimate, but there's not much more damage that the Warwick can do. And he's going to try and escape. Fizz uses his E to get closer, but then doesn't have it to actually go for the Annie after. Misses ultimate as well. And again, you can see this Warwick is playing, I would say, a little bit frustrated. Maybe is the way to kind of define this Warwick's playstyle. Fizz, again, not weirdly... Whoa, aggressive play by Annie with no damage return. And we can weirdly see the Warwick Qs, by the way. I don't know why the replay is showing us his Q. Garen's like, hello, I'm Garen. Fizz using E again, and Stridebreaker breaks the movement, and a double kill for Garen, which is nice. It was good by Garen to notice. Fizz has got this. Fiddle's got this. I should just go to mid, and he gets himself a double kill. And this is probably a Rift Herald use. It is. Rift Herald into mid lane, and then go to the dragon. That's what I would do. Let's see if that's what happens. So they might even, Fiddle's going to go ahead, try to AoE farm the wave as quick as he can, so then the Rift Herald can get one more charge use. But again, just want to make it clear, again, we spoke about it earlier, the Fiddle isn't, I would say, doing bad, but all his jungle camps are open. This is all XP that he should arguably trying to be getting, that he could easily be level 11 right now if he were to be jungle clearing on point. There is a nice steal potential here, though. He is missing his E, but he's going to go for the jungle steal, which that's good. And that, again, the thing with jungling, XP obviously is so different. Garen gets a nice 2v1 kill. Obviously, the thing with jungling is when the XP is so meaningful in the jungle, one jungler gets ahead, one jungler gets behind. If you're stealing as well, it's such a big deal. All right, Tariq looking for the 2v1. Fiddle going to come in for a gank. Tariq ultimate coming through. Warwick getting killed. And they will go for the Senna, and she will go pop. Fiddle gets himself a kill. Dragon is up, so you might see them, I don't know, maybe pushing this tower, get the tower, then go Dragon. Or Fiddle might just go straight to the Dragon. Yeah, that seems to be what's happening, which isn't too bad. So Item, by the way, so has got his Hex Tech. He must have a lot of gold on him. He has got he's holding 3,500 gold. So that shouldn't be happening. So again, holding that much gold in the early game is crazy because in the early game you have no items, so each item purchase means a lot. In late game, when you have 3 or 4 items complete, getting an extra amp tome doesn't really do that much. But in the early game, where each item is really important, going back semi-regularly and using your early gold is a good thing to do. This Fiddle is still not going back, so he's got nearly 3.6k gold. He's going to go what looks to be for another jungle clear right now, which he is, instead of going back. So this is where I would say, you know, it's good that he's now maximizing his XP. You're killing this, then going back. So by the, you know, you're killing the camp, you're going back. So in all the time that you're in base, it's technically respawning. That's good. Please go back, Fiddle. Like, please. He's going to go for an ultimate play, which, again, it's going to work because the enemy team are grouping for him. But again, he's doing okay. He would absolutely have just wrecked them if he would use his 3.6k gold. Now, 4.2 thousand gold has the Fiddlesticks right now. Please go back. So again, so the big things right now for this Fiddle, this player specifically, early game, again, maximizing his farm I think would be important. But, you know, again, what they're doing now, by the way, is fine. They're getting an inhibitor at 20 minutes, but to me, it's crazy that he's got 4.3k gold. He needs to use that. Even component building is good. It's working right now just because his team's grouping. The enemy team just can't really deal with it very easily. Malphite solo ulting and Annie. Tariq with a double ultimate. Enemy team looking for this big engage. Garen is just spinning in the middle of them. Lucian as well, completely free, not being targeted at all. And yeah, the enemy team is just too far behind. Will they just continue to look for the end? Will blue team? Because now they haven't based. All of them have probably got a decent amount of gold, and they're just still continuing the push. Which, yeah, is kind of crazy. But will they go back? I hope they do. So Fiddle is going to go back, hopefully, with 4.5 thousand gold. And is he not going back? Is he actually looking to do some counter jungling? Yeah, he's doing counter jungling, everyone. So again, I have to respect it in some ways. You know, this is kind of crazy that he's just not going back. He's not being punished because the enemy team is just so far, like, they are really far behind. But yeah, so what I would say is episode 1, first game of Iron in any of these. He's going back. Here we go. He buys himself a Hextech Rocket Belt and a completed Zhonya's. So item-wise for Fiddle, let's have a little look just to see. The more popular item, I will say right now, it looks to be, is Liandry's. So Liandry's is just a very strong item, burn damage, etc. So yeah, generally people are buying Liandry's over Hextech or Night Harvester. Obviously, you'd think that Fiddle might buy Night Harvester, it being the kind of scarecrow item. But yeah, Pro Rocket Belt isn't bad because it can obviously, I think the idea is you ult as Fiddle, and sometimes you're not just quite in the enemy team comp with the ultimate damage. The Rocket Belt can just kind of give you that extra nudge to actually get into the fight, into the middle of it. But yeah, Liandry's being so strong, I think that's what people are defaulting onto right now. But the game looks to be coming to an end. So the summaries to this, again, good starting point. The Fiddle wasn't terrible. Again, sometimes people would think, oh, Iron is going to be really bad. It was fine. He's ulting for some reason, just jungle clearing, flashes onto the Warwick. Warwick's obviously had quite a rough game. I would say don't go Ignite on Warwick. I think that's a bit too risky. But yeah, so jungle clearing, I think the guy could have maximized his jungle clearing a little bit more. He was holding obviously onto way too much gold. Should never be holding onto over 4,000 gold in the early game. And obviously it was okay, you know, it wasn't like it was a bad situation, but it's just too much gold to be hanging onto. It was good to see him AoE farming though. That was very much a positive. His ultimates were pretty good. They were not bad at all. But yeah, that's the starting point to Fiddlesticks. So overall, not bad. Just a bit more jungle clearing and maximizing the XP in the jungle. You know, he didn't get punished to it this game because the Warwick, again, wasn't farming that well, wasn't clearing that well either. But, you know, good starting point, definitely more to improve. And I think in this series, the one thing with Fiddlesticks, again, he's not the most mechanical champion. So the biggest difference we're going to see with Fiddlesticks is decision making. So this was Iron, this is kind of like the bottom tier. When we go now to Gold in the next few days, you'll probably notice I'd say quite a significant jump up. And that might be the biggest jump up that we possibly see is what we've just watched to the next one. Between a gold fiddle and a diamond fiddle and a challenger fiddle, there's obviously going to be differences, but I don't think there's going to be like astronomical differences, if that makes sense. Because again, there's only so many mechanics a fiddle can do. It's going to be decision making, and those are more subtle to actually see. So I think the next step up from going from Iron to now Gold, I think the next episode will be like, okay, there's a big difference here. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 1 of Fiddlesticks, the Champion's Climb. If you did, do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. And just to say, Lee Sin is going to be the next jungler. So after we do these 4 episodes of Fiddlesticks, Lee Sin will be the next one. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.